The President of the United States rallying in Georgia, where his refusal to concede is complicating next month's Senate runoff elections. The state's Governor Brian Kemp slamming the Trump administration's legal efforts, writing the following. Their claims would be extraordinary if true, but they're not. The claims of election fraud and malfeasance belong more to the Kraken's realm of mythos than they do to reality. Republican incumbent Kelly Loeffler still refusing to acknowledge President Trump's defeat in the state during a public debate.
The president has the right to pursue every legal recourse to make sure that this was a free and fair election in Georgia. And we know that these audits have turned up thousands of votes that were initially uncounted. And I've called for a signature audit. And the buck stops with the Secretary of State.
Bloomberg Chief Washington correspondent Kevin Cirillli joins us now with the latest. Kevin, it's a conversation you and I have had a few times over the last week, whether the president's participation in the campaigning effort for him on Saturday actually helps or hinders the effort in Georgia for January 5th.
Well, Senator Kelly Loeffler's banking that it is going to help her defeat Reverend Raphael Warnock. And in fact, during that contentious debate over the weekend, it was really Georgia politics on full display. You've got the Loeffler campaign talking about comments that Warnock had made in videos that have now surfaced in some of his sermons with regards to the military and religious freedoms. And then the Warnock campaign criticizing Loeffler by saying that she was anointed to her seat and not elected. Of course, she was tapped after there had been an opening in that state. So, look, I think the bottom line here is that both of the sides are suggesting that the future of the Senate and the power that Georgia voters have right now is going to be on full display. But really the driving force, much more so than President Trump, is Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. He has been quarterbacking this campaign, and his entire political apparatus has been working with the donor class in order to make sure that turnout for Republicans gets Republicans the majority in the Senate come January 6th.
Kevin, just quickly from my side, if you can answer this, this would be great. The fiscal conversations that we've seen start to build again in the last week or so, how do they play into this, if at all?
I don't think they play into this whatsoever. I think that there are two different issues. I checked in with a source this morning who essentially said to me that fiscal stimulus talks are still very much on par for the lame duck session. And finally, I would just note that similarly to how the fiscal talks weren't in effect on the November elections, it's the same type of calculation down in Georgia.